activist. I'm a human rights defender, and I enjoy the kind of thing I'm doing in this life. Yeah.
Alright, going back, when did you first realize you were not comfortable in being female, and when did you first get the impression that maybe you were born to be a man?
First of all, as I grew up when I was young, I felt inside me I wanted to grow up as a boy because I admired boys a lot. So I would do a lot of things that boys do when they're young, making toy cars, playing football, wanting to put on boys' clothes, you know. So, and I would even steal my brother's clothing so that I could feel like them. I would do everything, most of the things that boys would do. Yeah, that's what I always wanted to do. Even the games that boys used to play, I didn't like playing girls' games. Yeah, even in these games of mom and dad, I would be the dad. So, yeah. So, and I actually even one day I asked my mom about my brother. I have a brother called Reggie. I asked my mom, how comes that Reggie pees while standing? And he was like, it's because he's a boy. I was like, hey, so I'm also a boy because I want to learn how to pee like who? Reggie. So my mom told me, no, you're a girl, what? I'm like, no, I'm going to also start practicing it so that I do what? I be like Reggie, yeah. So when I grew up around the time I joined the LGBT community in Uganda, that was around 2009, yeah. When I hooked up with some of my friends who introduced me to other friends were attached to Farouk. So it all started, I joined Farouk, and then in around 2010, I worked at Farouk as the communications manager. And I got to learn more about the LGBT community in Uganda because by that time, before I joined the community, I didn't know what LGBT was. I just knew there are lesbians and gays. I didn't know about trans, I didn't know about intersex, I didn't know about WSW, I didn't know about all that. But when I joined Farouk, I started learning more, I got to read more, and this is when I started realizing that I'm a trans man. Through reading, I realized it started coming to me that now this is how I feel, this is me. So meaning I don't fall in the category of lesbians or WSW, I'm a trans man. Yeah.
And how was your coming out to your family? How did they take it?
My coming out to my family, I didn't tell them, but there are some, like I told you, I worked at Farouk as the communications manager, and then there are some activities that I used to engage in, and one time my sisters got to see me on TV, and they were like, oh, so this one is this and this and this. So they went, told my whole family. They had a family meeting, they talked about it. But I'm so happy that out of our family, our last born, I'm the second last born, so she's the last born. She accepted me the way I am, and she loves me so much. She tried to convince them and tell them that even if we do what, Jay is our blood, we can't just throw him out or what. Let's just accept him the way he is. But then most of them haven't. They refused. They refused to take me in. Though my mom loves me so much and misses me, sometimes when I go to see her, she tries to talk to me and what. But the rest of my sisters and brothers are not really okay with it. Though sometimes I think they are trying to adopt it or take it in, but it's kind of hard because most of them, I have two brothers who are pastors. Yeah, and the rest of my family, they are saved. Yeah, so they're like, it's hard for them, apart from one sister of mine who is okay with me. Yeah.
Right. I understand you're into sports.
Yes.
How has it been being, because I don't think yes, I understand that society is very closed off to these issues, but then taking part in an activity that is mainly male dominated, are they very accepting?
I love basketball very much. Ever since I was young, I played basketball. And actually, in my P7, that's when I started playing basketball. And I got this love of basketball from my brother, still Reggie. He inspired me a lot in a lot of things. So, yeah, and I also, after my, okay, throughout my high school, I used to play basketball, but there are some schools that I went to, and they weren't, there were no, because let's go back to reality. In high school, I'm taken as a girl. You know? So in my high school, there were no girls playing basketball. It was only boys playing basketball. So because I had this love for the game, in the evening after classes, I would join the boys to play basketball. So everyone was like, what? How can you handle playing with boys and so on? And the good thing, I was good at what I was doing. So the boys would even fight for me to be on their teams. Yeah? Because I was good. So I would train with them, play with them, and they liked me very much. But they didn't know what I was at that time. So, and there are some schools that I played in that were competitive. We used to go for competition in different schools, and I so happened that our team would be the best. And after high school, I joined clubs, different clubs. I started from Ladybugs. Then from Ladybugs, after my S6, I was spotted by one of the universities in Uganda. They gave me a scholarship, and I had to play on their team. So through that scholarship, I was playing basketball, but unfortunately, I was stopped, and my scholarship was terminated after the university got to know what I was. And then they actually threw me out of the university team. I had to join another team, but I'm so happy. Right now I'm playing for Magic Stormers. It's the third in the country. Last season we were the third, and most cases we have always been the third. But I love this team for one thing. They accepted me how I am. Me and a couple actually, Williams. We play in the same team, and they like us very much. They take us as trans men. They accepted us, though the whole community of basketball looks at us like women. But because we love the game, obviously we can't just give up. We have to continue playing the game. The team loves us so much, so much. They take us the way we are. Because on top of that, we are also good players. The coaches, the players are our good friends. They like us, they love us very much. But the problem is with the FUBA, the Federation of Uganda Basketball Association. They really don't like us, and even some players from other teams. Though there are also some players who are okay with us, the ones from other teams. Yeah. So there are some players who are okay with us. There are others who are homophobic or transphobic. And the FUBA committee is also not that good, though they are trying to let us play because they have no option. Like I'm a qualified ref, I'm a qualified coach, and I'm a player at the same time. I have a certificate of basketball in coaching and reffing at the same time, but I was disqualified because of what I am. So I no longer practice it. I'm only playing because they have no option. They can't force the team that I'm playing for to chase me away because the team is okay with me. So that's it. Yeah.
Isn't there like a way you can minus court and taking it into the hands of the law? Isn't there something that can be done? Or have you even taken any steps to fight for your rights and say, no, this is me, it doesn't make me any less of a ref or coach, I'm qualified, and that's what I should happen?
What I should say, actually, there are many opportunities that I've lost. Like, I'm supposed to be on the national team of Uganda, but they stopped calling me on the national team because of the time they realized that I'm trans. And they have denied me opportunities like there is a program that we were running. It was always run by the International Sports Connection. There are coaches from the US. They usually come here to run programs. So in that program, I happened to be one of the best people, and they were supposed to take us to the US for further more projects or trainings. Yeah. So when time came, they chose me. But unfortunately, as I told you, FUBA made sure I'm not part of it. They disqualified me and told me, okay, they didn't tell me direct, but because I had already even got phone calls from the people who were organizing, but it just went blank. Then the people who went to represent, yeah, they told me that the reason why they didn't take you was because of this and this and this and this. So, yeah, that's when I came to know. I was like, so it has gone to this extent. So I just had to. I haven't. The question you asked, I haven't thought of going to law, but I love sharing my story and talking about it in public. Maybe one day, because the things of in Uganda, I believe law doesn't really take its course in most cases. So it would be a hassle and a fight, pulling this one, if they have more money than I, they will win the case, of course. So I don't think there will be fair judgment for me on my side. I don't think the judgment will favor me. That's why I prefer sharing my story, like putting it in bombastic magazine so that people can read about it. It has come out in The Guardian, and I'm expecting in Forbes anytime from now. It will also come out. There is Vice UK also, they have. So I prefer sharing my story so that maybe people can read about it, and maybe with that, it will make a change somewhere. Yeah.
The reality is there are a lot of trans people in the sports field.
Yeah.
Have you all thought of coming together and doing something for yourselves just to create, even if it's a little bit of a difference? Sometimes it's the voices that matter. You start from the ground and then go from there.
I'm thinking about that thing, and I think the fact that we have a network for the transgenders, I think such a thing is going to happen very soon. And on my side, the reason why I came out to start sharing my story was so that they could listen to my voice as a trans person. Maybe even other trans people out there who are scared of sharing would come out if they see me talk about this or share my story. You understand? But we are also planning about coming out and doing something, some events and so on in different spots. I think that thing, there are a lot of things that we are planning about. Yeah.
What would you say, besides your family problems, what would you say has been your biggest challenge?
Besides my family, my biggest challenge has been the general public. As you can see right now, I haven't gone through full transitioning, and it's always hard for me to go to certain places because people always question. They question man, woman, and then they end up uttering those bad words about this and this and this. It's kind of, it has been a big challenge for me, and yet transitioning, especially in Africa or Uganda, is really difficult. The processes that we have to go through, first of all, and like getting hormones is a challenge. It's a big challenge. Yeah. The surgery, or let's say the top surgery itself, is a big challenge. Accessing a lot of things, even binders themselves, it's a big challenge. And we have had side effects from different trans people who always get side effects, especially when they're trying to bind, when they're trying to get hormones and they can't sustain themselves via that. So we end up using the local things to get where we want, but that is the biggest challenge that we face as trans people. Yeah.
As a trans person in Uganda, what do you think, how do you look at the community, especially just the trans? compared to about 5-10 years ago?
Oh, the trans community is really stepping up. That's all I can say. It's really, really stepping up, and I'm happy that my fellow trans people in Uganda, however much we are going through a lot of challenges, are ready to come out, talk about different issues, stand on our two legs and tell people, hey, listen, this and this and this is happening. I'm happy, even if it's bad on the other side, but I'm happy that there are even bills that are coming up and affecting the trans, though it's in a bad way, but at least something like trans is being talked about. You understand? This is a step ahead. Yeah, so I'm really grateful for the trans community. It has really stepped up, though we still have a long way to go. Yeah, but at least it's better than way back.
And on a personal level, do you mind talking about your love life? I want to understand how it works within the trans community. The rest I get it, but most people don't get how this works.
Wow. My love life. Yeah, as trans people, I'll talk on behalf of, not mine, but let me talk about, because I've got time to share it with my trans friends around, and being in love as a trans person is always a big challenge. Yeah, because you can get a person in love, but they will see you in another perspective. And when you fully transition, you will either break up with your partner unless that person understands you, which is always so difficult.
What changes?
One, I think by the time you fall in love with them, they are looking at you as a woman. So now you're transitioning to be a real man. You understand? So this person will be like, oh no, me, I didn't love you this way, I loved you the other way. You understand? So it's also challenging.
And how easy or how difficult is it to actually approach like a girl you're attracted to?
It's not easy. It's not easy actually, but if you want something, you go for it. No matter what, you go for it.
So what has been your worst experience?
I'm approaching a gun. My worst experience. I haven't got one at least. I don't know whether I always find it easy. I find when that person has already, I don't know. But I've never got any difficulties. Yeah.
Okay. So what are your future plans as a person in terms of movement?
As a person, my future plans to stay in activism, and because if there are a lot of countries that are changing laws and accepting gay people, and that's my dream, that one day, one time, yeah, they take us as Ugandans and they accept us the way we are. That's one of my dreams, and I'll continue being an activist as long as I'm still alive. Because even if I'm not still alive, I would wish the people who come after us find it when it's small for them, it's okay for them. That's my dream in time.
And what would you like to share with the world, not just with your Tanzania?
With the world. What I would love to share with the world is they should, because in Uganda there are a lot of laws that are coming up and they're affecting us as the LGBT community. So this is my message to the whole world, as in they should, especially the countries that have been accepted, they should join hands with us so that they push it. They help us in this struggle until we get what we want. Yeah.
Thank you very much.